I have been sent some 68 custom Deluxe Reverbs to be gutted and completely rebuilt. And this is a photo of one that I did in the past, and it came out beautifully. And after I did this one, which was just a rebuild of a 68, I did a fully custom Deluxe Reverb inspired amp, and I was really pleased with how it came out. It had a few bells and whistles the original did not have, but at its core it was still the circuit. And on this model I changed the board layout a little bit and incorporated some updates, and here you can see a pretty good view of that. That board here in reality is this board in my computer design program, and I could have just put this into the new amps as well, but I decided, see my previous videos on the Excalibur 15, to abandon the axial caps because they will not be available 5-10 plus years down the road when this amp needs service. So I'm doing it using radial caps like you see on the Excalibur 15, and these are higher quality capacitors than anything that's ever been available in axial form. Unlike the Excalibur 15, which uses turrets, this amp will be done using eyelets, and it's a fairly traditional layout. However, I am moving the tone stack components farther from the tube where they're connected and closer to where the wires actually go, and that's for a number of reasons. Primarily to keep the wire lengths shorter, and so the longer run is done with a DC wire rather than multiple AC signal wires. It just keeps the noise flow lower and steers some stuff away from the input jack areas where necessary. For instance, on the vibrato channel, its input will not be running very close to those tone stack signals. It just really cuts things down quite a bit, and also the tremolo wires are farther away, which is nice. Other than that, it's a fairly traditional layout. A couple of things in the cathodes, if you look closely, are done a la some Dumbles to conserve board space, but everything within a triode stage is physically very close to that triode, and this should just sound fantastic. And this has all the filter caps and all the bias stuff on one board, opposed to having it spread out as in the stock Fender design. If you see my grounding videos, Fender did it pretty well. This is the next level to go. It's even quieter than Fender's, but the overall sound will sound pretty much just like any really great example of a 64 through 67 Deluxe Reverb, the golden era for the AB763 circuit. The one thing I will point out on this compared to that is that I'm using a fiberglass board, which is very rigid, and it will never warp the way the old ones did. And I'll probably be using a different wire than the cloth covered wire on this. The cloth covered wire is cool and all, but over time that cloth insulation can soak up yuck in the environment and lose some of its insulating properties, and I don't care for that. So this will sound, this will be the vintage sound. I'll just be getting there a few different ways with some improvements. And this board is laid out in such a way that I can either have the two channels as they are in the 60s with no reverb or tremolo on the normal channel, or I can have reverb and trim on both channels without the noise floor increase that you get in the stock 68 custom things that Fender's pumping out these days, which is just noise city. So anyway, these boards are on order, and you'll get to see them being built very soon, and you'll also get to see everything being taken out of the old ones very soon. They're practically brand new amps, but all the PCBs and substandard pots and stuff. So it'll feel good to get all that started. I look forward to this.